The Metro Planning Commission is made up of 10 members. 8 of the members are appointed by the mayor and confirmed by the Metro Council. 1 member of the Planning Commission is elected by the Metro Council from the council membership. This member also serves as the chair of the Planning and Zoning Committee. The mayor also serves on the Planning Commission. However, there is generally a representative appointed to serve in place of the mayor. The Metro Planning Commission meets twice a month, most months, on the second and fourth Thursday of the month. Some months, the Planning Commission only meets once. The Metro Planning Commission has various duties that are granted by the state through Title 13 of Tennessee Code annotated. Those duties include adopting a general plan. The general plan for Nashville is referred to as Nashville Next. The Planning Commission also reviews amendments to the general plan, and they make the final decision on those amendments. The Planning Commission reviews zone change requests and makes a recommendation to the Metro Council. Zone change requests require approval by the Metro Council as they are a legislative action. The Planning Commission also reviews preliminary specific plan requests, those are referred to as SPs, and makes recommendations to the Metro Council. The Planning Commission reviews subdivision plans and makes the final decision on those plans. The Planning Commission also reviews and makes recommendations on the capital improvements budget. Those recommendations are made to the Metro Council. The Planning Commission reviews and makes recommendations on zone change requests. The recommendations are made to the Metro Council. The Planning Commission also reviews preliminary SP requests and makes recommendations to Council. The Planning Commission reviews text amendments, which are amendments to the text of the zoning code, and makes recommendations to Council. In its review, the Planning Commission looks to the Community Character Manual for guidance. The Community Character Manual, also referred to as Land Use Policy, is the land use policy that's derived from Nashville Next. The Planning Commission review cycle for projects is typically 6 weeks. However, reviews can take longer depending on the complexity of the project and agency review times. The Planning Department staff serve as the lead on all of the projects, and they distribute the projects for review by other Metro agencies. Generally, a rezoning takes anywhere from 4 to 6 months from the application to the effective date. However, it can take longer for complex cases. The Planning Commission holds public hearings for all rezoning cases that appear before the Commission. Public hearings for rezoning are noticed in various ways. They are noticed through publication of an agenda in advance of the meeting. They are noticed by posting of signs on the property to be rezoned. And they are also noticed by mailing of notices to all properties within 1,000 feet of the property requested for the rezoning. Public hearings for rezonings held at the Planning Commission are required by the Commission rules. They are not required by the zoning code or by state law. After the Planning Commission makes a recommendation, the next step is Council. If a rezoning is recommended for approval by the Planning Commission, planning staff will submit the legislation to the Council office. If a recommendation is for disapproval, planning staff will not submit the legislation unless specifically requested by the council member. Once submitted, the legislation only moves forward at council if the council member signs the legislation. As a reminder, rezoning legislation is a legislative action and requires approval by council. After the Planning Commission makes a recommendation, planning staff then represents the Planning Commission's recommendation at Council. During review of a project, planning staff is making a recommendation to the Planning Commission. Once the Planning Commission has made their recommendation, our priority shifts to representing the views of the Commission. Zoning legislation is filed as an ordinance at Council, and ordinances require 3 readings. There is a public hearing on all zoning legislation at Council, and those public hearings are noticed in various ways. The public hearings are noticed through publication of an agenda in advance of the meeting. They are also noticed through publication in a newspaper of general circulation. They are noticed by posting of signs on the properties to be rezoned, and by mailing of notice to all properties within 1,000 feet of the property requested for rezoning. Council public hearings are required by the zoning code and by state statute. I hope that this information gives you a better understanding of the role of the Planning Commission and how the Planning Commission interacts with Council. If you want more information on the Planning Commission or when meetings are held, you can visit nashville.gov and search for Planning Commission.